In my last video, I talked about a Halloween party that I did on Saturday, and I offered to share the playlist. Some people wanted to hear what my playlist was, so I'm going to give it to you in this video today. The video that I did yesterday was about making the bar money as a DJ. If an establishment hires you to come in and play, they're wanting you to help them generate some income. Typically, that's just how it works. They don't always know how this is going to work. They just figure, oh, we'll get music and that will draw people. Once you get the people in the bar, though, there are things you can do as a DJ that will help the bar make money. And one thing that you can do is rotate that bar crowd. So one of the suggestions that I made was, I don't know, let's say that you've got, just as a hypothetical, half hip-hop audience, half EDM audience. So you've got your EDM crowd on the floor, you're playing banger EDM tracks, then you switch to hip-hop. Your EDM people don't want to dance to hip-hop, so what they may do is leave the dance floor and go to the bar. In the meantime, the people at the bar maybe are the hip-hop heads. They go, hey, hip-hop, time to dance. They leave the bar. So the EDM people are at the bar, hip-hop are on the dance floor, put the EDM back on, same thing. You send the hip-hop people to the bar and the EDM people from the bar to the dance floor. Just a rotation of the crowd. There are a few comments that I wanted to address, and some people, felt like that my video didn't quite hit the nail on the head for them. And they have a difference of opinion. And I don't know if they really have a difference of opinion, but I'll read you the comments. The first one says, if you have a packed dance floor and no one is at the bar, you don't have enough people there. Ultimately, in a perfect world, he's absolutely right. It would be great if there was always somebody in the dance floor and always somebody at the bar, but, hey, quite frankly, not every night is a banger night. It just works out that way, unfortunately. And in the real world, yeah, once you have things running great and you've established yourself there, yeah, you can absolutely have people at the bar and the dance floor at all times into the rotation. The issue that I had on Halloween was there wasn't great promotion from the establishment, and the crowd wasn't as big as I wanted it to be. I wish it was more. I didn't do any promotion. They did the promotion. And I thought they'd done their job, and they hadn't. But anyway, he goes on to say, the DJ does their job when they have a good following, whether it's social media or word of mouth. Yeah, a big thing right now is DJs doing their own social media, bringing their own people in, having a following. And again, in a perfect world, fantastic. I did bring a few people in, and they did spend some money. But no, I didn't pack the place with my following. I didn't even try to, really. But anyway, I'm a seasoned vet, 51 years old, been DJing since the 80s, and I am still hip to all the new and old music. Just saying, it's just my opinion, that's all, no hard feelings. And yeah, no hard feelings at all. We can always have this discussion. And one more comment I will read before I go any further. Pretty quick here. It's pretty cool that you want to make the bar money, but I respectfully disagree to a point. As a DJ, it's your goal to keep them dancing. That generates a buzz and more people show up. And that's how you can make the bar more money. Just a thought. Don't want people saying, this song sucks, let's go get a drink, even if it's by design. But whatever works for each DJ, to each their own. Just my respectful opinion. Yeah, I mean, I understand what he's saying as well. And I think he may have misunderstood what I was saying in the video. I wasn't suggesting that you go from the big new banger hot to go track to playing, I don't know, the national anthem. I wasn't suggesting that. I wasn't saying you purposely throw on a terrible track that people hate. And no, what I'm suggesting is you just mix up the styles and the rhythms a little bit. You typically have more than one group of people at any establishment. You've got people who like country, you got people who like top 40, they like dance music, they like oldies, they like EDM, they like hip hop, whatever. So you always have the opportunity to rotate the floor. I know when I was DJing at salsa clubs, that was a lot of fun. There were typically 4 different genres that I would mess with there. Salsa, merengue, bachata, and occasionally reggaeton. And the way I did it was I would do 2 salsa tracks, 2 merengue tracks, 2 bachata tracks, and then maybe a reggaeton, and then repeat that. I would bring the salsa dancers out, get them thirsty, send them to the bar. They'll bring the merengue people out, get them thirsty, send them to the bar, bachata, and then, of course, the reggaeton. So I rotated that way, and the bar made tons of cash. And I wasn't necessarily playing anything that nobody was dancing to. I was just playing to a different demographic at the establishment. Does that make sense to you? So, yeah, I'm not suggesting you purposely play like the worst song ever. I'm just saying play for someone other than who's on the dance floor, who will come out and dance. Ultimately, that's what you want to do. But with all these comments, I don't think anyone's really disagreed with me. They just may have misunderstood what I was saying in the video, or maybe I misspoke. I mean, that's very possible. But this is what I will say. We're all trying to get to Disneyland. Ultimately, we all want the same thing. You know, the details, you know, may be a little different. The route we take may be a little different, but we're all trying to get to the same place. And in my video, it was just sharing one way that a person could start thinking about getting there and planning their route, which is just making the bar money. If the bar hires you, they're doing it for a reason. They want to generate income. If you go in there and you just play self-indulgent tracks all night, which is what a lot of DJs do, and I understand where they're coming from. They're artists. They want to do artistic expression, and here's an opportunity to do it, which is fantastic until you realize that maybe the people at this establishment aren't into what you're doing. Doesn't mean you shouldn't do what you're doing. It just means that when you're a working DJ, especially at first, maybe you should start thinking about playing to the audience in front of you instead of playing what you think the audience in front of you should be listening to. That's kind of what my whole video was based off of. I was thinking about the other DJs who used to play there, how they used to go in and try to have this, you know, deep cut EDM night or deep cut house night or deep cut trance night, and that totally wasn't the crowd that was there. They weren't responding to it. They weren't sticking around. Well, gee, there's a reason for that. They weren't playing to the audience, and they weren't thinking about what the bar was doing or what the waitstaff was doing or what anyone else was doing except what they were doing. And if you want to make money at this, you got to kind of bend a little bit. If you think for 1 minute that when I became a wedding DJ, I was excited about playing things like Paradise by the Dashboard Light, Old Time Rock and Roll, Peppermint Twist, Always by Atlantic Star, you got another thing coming. But I knew that I could make money doing that. And you know what? To me, it was cooler than running a punch press. I could make good money being a DJ. Maybe playing not the music I want to play, but playing music that worked for the audience in front of me. And I could bring some of my artistic skill into this and maybe squeeze a song or two in there they weren't thinking about that I dug. And I thought they might dig too. Trial and error. You come into your own. But yeah, just if you're going to be a working DJ, maybe don't be so self-indulgent with your personal artistic sets. Play the stuff they want. I was talking about a friend of mine, a good friend of mine. Her dad was Eddie and Alex Van Halen's music theory teacher in college. Now, Eddie and Alex Van Halen had a musical family. They already knew how to play and stuff. But just like everyone else, we're always learning, and we want to get different perspectives. So Mr. Fisher was what they call him. He was their professor in college. And back then, when they were kind of cutting their teeth, yeah, they had some really interesting artistic ideas and things they wanted to express, and they did, and they ultimately became rock stars. But guess what they were also doing? Weddings. Got to pay the bills, man. When you're a working musician and you haven't quite become a superstar yet, you got to do what you got to do to make money. And they were not playing demos of Running with the Devil at somebody's wedding. They were playing stuff that people wanted to hear at a wedding. You just got to do what you got to do as a working musician or a working DJ sometimes, and not be so incredibly self-indulgent. You can bring your personality, you can bring your taste, you can bring your flavor and introduce people to a few things, but ultimately, pay attention to what that audience wants. And in a bar situation, yeah, I would pay attention to the bar too. And that's, you know, however you do it. Again, we're all trying to get to Disneyland. We may just take different routes. We may be using different Google Maps on that. Maybe I'm using an old school road map. Maybe I'm following my nose. Maybe I'm choosing the safest route. Maybe I'm choosing the most dangerous and risky route. We're all trying to get to Disneyland at the end of the day. Just something that I try to keep in mind. So yeah, all cool. Please leave your comments on this video and any other video I have, whether you agree or disagree with me. I would appreciate it. And I like likes. Those are good. Comments are good. It helps the algorithm. My videos are not catching the world on fire, but the more comments and the more likes and that notification bell thing, that's a good thing to hit. If you want to help me out, you can do that. It doesn't cost you a thing. Helps me a lot. So thank you for your likes, comments, hit the notification button, and even subscribing if you haven't done it already. So I'm going to get to that playlist. That is next. And before I do that, I'm going to mention our channel sponsor today, Hollywood DJ, located on 11th Street in Los Angeles, California. Have a look at their website or give them a call for any of your DJ equipment needs. Alan down there is a pal of mine, and he will hook you up. And I want to thank Hollywood DJ for being one of our channel sponsors. Thank you so much. I'm not retiring over YouTube money. So the channel sponsorship is a really big help. So I really do appreciate Hollywood DJ for being one of the channel sponsors. On to that playlist. But the reading glasses. So, the first song that I play here, I'm testing the system. I'm using half my PA, half the house PA, because the dance floor on the house PA doesn't work anymore. We've talked about that in other videos. So I'm bringing my speakers in for the dance floor PA, but the rest of the PA in the establishment works. And when I first plug in and start playing, I have to kind of adjust volumes so they make sense between my PA and the house PA. So the first track I play is Faith Evans' Love Like This as my check-in levels song. In fact, you know what? My computer's so far away, I don't think I need these reading glasses. So I'm going to take them off here. Can't see the camera anymore, but I can see my screen. Okay, so here's where I kick it off, and I'm doing warm-up stuff. I start a little early. My kids are in the booth with me all night. They had a lot of fun. And my kids are in their mid-20s, by the way. And they were feeding me tracks. I was asking, hey, what's a good Halloween track? And they were feeding me things. So I was taking some of their suggestions. And, you know, of course, you're going to see some of these are my own. All right. Kicking it off with the Halloween theme, the cheesy stuff. We got Ghostbusters, Ray Parker Jr. Next up, Thriller, Michael Jackson. I Want Candy, Bow Wow Wow. Halloween theme, John Carpenter. If you know what I'm talking about, the theme song to the Halloween movie. That's a good one to play. Bar-Kays Freak Show. That's a great track. If you haven't played it in a while, or if you've never heard of it, check out Freak Show on the dance floor. The Bar-Kays. It's a great song. Old school breakdancing song. Purple People Eater. Boris Somebody. I don't remember who does that song. It's a ridiculous song, but it was early, and there were even some kids there still eating, so I threw that on. I'm Your Boogeyman, KSC and the Sunshine Band. Contrary to popular belief, if you listen to that song, it's not about the boogeyman. It's about a DJ. The boogeyman is the DJ, makes you boogie. Listen to that song. It's kind of cool. It's all about a DJ. Every Day is Halloween, Ministry, one of my personal favorites. Somebody's Watching Me, Rockwell. The Blue Wrath by I Monster. If you don't know what that track is, it's the opening credits song in the movie Shaun of the Dead. A lot of people have seen that movie. They don't know what that song is. It's The Blue Wrath by I Monster. It was a lot of fun to play that track. Let's see. Ghosts and Stuff, Deadmau5. Putting on the Ritz, Taco. My daughter suggested that one because she said, it's just a weird, creepy song. And you know what? It totally is. Taco, Putting on the Ritz. We just played it. It kind of makes you uncomfortable and it's a little weird. But it's one of the weirdest, coolest songs of the 80s. And she likes it, so I played it. Shake Senora, Harry Belafonte from the first Beetlejuice movie. That was the song they did at the end of the film. And a lot of people want to do the Banana Boat song. Dale. You can totally do that, but Shake Senora is a little more fun, and people still get it as from Beetlejuice, so I did that one. MacArthur Park, Donna Summer. That may confuse a few of you. Some of you are like, who? What? Others are like, why'd you play it? And then some are like, yeah. Speaking of Harry Belafonte and Beetlejuice, if you've seen the second one, Beetlejuice, they're playing MacArthur Park through that entire film. They play the old original version by whoever and the Donna Summer version at the very end. My son-in-law suggested that one, so I put it on. Some people got it, some people didn't, but you know what? That's kind of how it goes sometimes. And Look What You Made Me Do, Taylor Swift, something my kid wanted to hear. Ghost Town, Specials. That's the first song that you hear in Shaun of the Dead by the band The Specials, Ghost Town. It's an old UK track, Scottish, kind of weird, creepy song. So I played that one. Dead Man's Party, Oingo Boingo. I very badly wanted to play Weird Science too, but I didn't have it. I was like, what? I don't have Weird Science? I didn't have it. Goo Goo Muck, The Cramps. That's the song that Wednesday Addams was dancing to in the movie, or in the Netflix series Wednesday. And I did have Addams Family there, like the whole Addams Family. The group came in dressed up like all of them, so I played it for that, and they got it, and they were pretty happy that I played that. Werewolves of London, Warren Zevon. A lot of this is low-hanging fruit, I know, but this one I played just to see who would get it. Edgar Winter Group, Frankenstein. They don't say Frankenstein in the song. In fact, there are no lyrics in the song. But yeah, it's kind of an aggressive rock tune, and it's called Frankenstein. So I played that for my son-in-law. Rasputin by Boney M. It's a weird one, but he wanted to hear it, so we played it. Soul Bossa Nova, Quincy Jones. That's the Austin Powers theme. Good Times, NXS featuring Ernie Barnes. That is the big track, or one of the big tracks in the movie The Lost Boys, the vampire movie from the 80s. Revenge, Ministry. It's an old Ministry track, and it's got like that theron, that woo, that thing. It's throughout the song, and anything that's got that woo in it, as far as I'm concerned, it's Halloween-ish. Devil Woman, Cliff Richard. That's me being self-indulgent. I had to do it. Bloody Mary, Lady Gaga. Yeah, the Goo Goo Muck was a song that they did on the Netflix series Wednesday, but on TikTok, anybody who was doing the Wednesday Addams dance was doing it to Bloody Mary, Lady Gaga. Okay, so that's my warm-up stuff. Then we start dancing, and I kicked it off with a new track, Chappelle Roan, Hot to Go. A lot of you know this one. A lot of you don't. If you don't know it, check it out. It's kind of like the new YMCA. People, the young Gen Z girls go crazy over this, and they do a dance to it in a whole bit. It's a fun track. It's real catchy. So check out Hot to Go. It's been around for a while, but it didn't drop on my music services until September. So all of a sudden, it's popped. Check it out. Grooves in the Heart Delight. That was a request. And another request was Monkey Wrench, Foo Fighters. Another request from my manager was Mystical, Shake That Ass. So I played that one. Just Can't Get Enough, Depeche Mode. Personal Jesus, Depeche Mode. And the reason I did Personal Jesus was there was a guy there dressed as Jesus, but he had a cheese head on. Have you seen the cheese heads? If you have ever seen the Green Bay Packers football game, the people in the audience wear these foam cheese hats. Like, what is this all about? And it finally occurred to me, it's Jesus. Wow. Cheese and Jesus. Jesus. I figured it out. I was so proud of myself. I had to play Personal Jesus for Jesus. And it was a fun costume. Party in the USA, Miley Cyrus. Bye, bye, bye. In Sync. I played that for the girl who had just come in, who was dressed as Deadpool, and that's the big song in Deadpool versus Wolverine, but I don't think she heard it, so I did repeat it later, and you'll hear that. Another person who just walked in, yeah, she was with her boyfriend, and he was kind of dressed like a biker, but she was dressed like Sandy from Grease, and it was really convincing. So I did a Grease set for her, and the one I like to do is Summer Nights and You're the One That I Want. Some people like to do the mega mix with Grease Lightning in there, and that's fine, but I've never played Grease Lightning as a standalone song, and I feel like I get more mileage out of playing Summer Nights and You're the One That I Want in that order, and it did really well. She went out there and had fun with it. Everybody, Backstreet's Back. For Halloween, if you've seen that video, it's kind of trick-or-treaty, Halloween-y, creepy. It's kind of fun. Just the song, people like it. So, of course, I played that one. Going out by request on this one, Gasolina Daddy Yankee. Follow that up with Rakata. That's a reggaeton song from probably 20 years ago, but it still hits really well. Uptown Funk, Bruno Mars, Mark Ronson. There were a group of people there dressed like the characters in the SpongeBob. Although SpongeBob wasn't there, but Squidward was there, and I don't know, the I Captain and several other ones were there. I don't know all the SpongeBob people, but I did play the SpongeBob SquarePants theme song for that group, and they really got a kick out of that. Yeah, Usher. Hot in Here, Nelly. Baby Got Back, Sir Mix-a-Lot. Back That Thing Up, Juvenile. That one still does really well. People like that's a cool flashback that you don't hear every day. Yeah, you hear yeah all the time, but you don't hear Back That Thing Up very much. That one's fun. Starships, Nicki Minaj. That was a request. Went over really well. Followed that up with one I do a lot, which is the Sexy and I Know It / Party Rock Anthem. I mixed them together, LMFAO. And another request that I was surprised to get, and it went over really well, right after that, was the Tramps Disco Inferno. And that was a good one. Followed that up with Funky Town Lips Incorporated. And after that, switch gears. And you notice I'm switching gears here. I'm going from dance music to hip hop to rock to whatever. Those are the ways I'm rotating the dance floor. I'm not necessarily clearing my floor by playing the most terrible song ever. I'm just playing different things that appeal to different people. And the songs that people like, they're coming out for. The songs that aren't really their jam, they'll even go have a drink for. They're not mad that I've played something else. It's just not their jam. You know what I'm saying? So that I'm sorry if I didn't explain that well enough in the video. I'm not trying to play party killers. I'm just trying to play different things for different people, which rotates the dance floor and ultimately helps the bar. Where were we here? Low, I mentioned that, Floretta, and I followed it up with It's Tricky, which went absolutely just pow. I mixed that with, and I do sets throughout the night where I'm actually mixing. I also do sets where I'm not, and you'll hear this with the BPMs. Some things are just the right song to play next, and they don't necessarily match BPM-wise, but it's the right song to play next. And a lot of people like to just beat mix their whole night because they feel like if they do that, there's just continuity and people do not leave the dance floor because the beat doesn't change. And that's true, but I would argue that when you're rotating a bar, you need to bring attention to what you're doing. You need for people to stop and say, oh, something changed. That's different. And especially if you're going into something that they like, abrupt changes and slam mixes and BPM changes, key changes, all of those things put people on alert. Even dead silence sometimes will put people on alert. And if you're trying to get them to leave the bar and go to the dance floor, or you're trying to get them to leave the dance floor and go to the bar, sometimes you need those pauses and abrupt changes and not necessarily the smooth beat mixing thing. But anyway, I'm beat mixing some of this stuff and you're going to hear that. So Low, It's Tricky, Run DMC, Satisfaction, Biddy Benazzi. And I did my little mix of Lizzo versus Eminem. It's a About Damn Trailer Park, I call it. That one's fun. I take About Damn Time and About Me, and I mash them together. And that song, I did it like 2 years ago. I still play that. It's still a pretty good hit. Followed it up with Jump Around. From there, I do September, Earth, Wind, and Fire. And next, I do I Love It, Icona Pop, Fireball, Pitbull, John Ryan. You My Everything, Sexy Red. That was terrible. That was a request, and I put it on. Man, I mean, I'm not trying to hate on the new music, but man, that was bad. Bad. I had to cut it a little early. It was painful to hear. I mean, she's singing off key, and look, if we're talking about Sexy Red, you look no further. I'm the Sexy Red, not this person. But anyway, I regret. By the way, that's Sexy with 2 Y's, so if you're searching it and you can't find it, it's Sexy with 2 Y's. And Red with 1 D. Get Low, Lil Jon and the East Side Boys. Way to kind of bring the dance floor back up because believe it or not, Sexy Red didn't bring that many people out. Yeah, Get Low brought a lot more people out. And kept the people who were out for Sexy Red too. Levels, obviously that was a request. Call on Me, Eric Prydz. The Business, Tiesto. And I played Hot to Go again, Chappelle Rowan. That went really well. I mean, because I played it late, it went really well. It was there were more people in at that time. Follow that up with "Call Me Maybe," Carly Rae Jepsen. Now the "Hot to Go" song is kind of a girl song. So is the Carly Rae Jepsen song, so that was kind of fun. I like the way you move, Body Rockers. Be Faithful, Crooklyn Clan. Salt Shaker, Ying Yang Twins. Turn Down for What, DJ Snake. Levitating, Dua Lipa. Up, Cardi B, that was a request. Body, Megan Thee Stallion. So it went really well together. I had a Dominican couple there. They requested a lot of songs, but they didn't necessarily dance to a lot of songs. And I decided to play something that's like really Dominican. it's by Meta Fe. It's called La Vaga. It's a really fast merengue song. One of my favorite really fast merengue songs. It's about a cow. La Vaca means the cow. And I don't know my Spanish very well, but throughout this whole song, Meta Fe is telling everybody how great his cow is in a very rough voice in Spanish. And very fast. So, Meta Fe, La Vaca, have it in your library. They went nuts when I played that. And a lot of people came out for it that didn't even know it. So that was a fun one to play. Están Viando by La Máquina. Another really fast merengue song, which did really well. Let's follow a fast merengue up with another fast merengue. And I like Están Viando by La Máquina. It's a good song. Some of you are like, huh? Some of you are like, really? You played that? That's really cool. Some of you are like, whatever. Doesn't matter. Moving right along. I did Bye 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 again for the Deadpool girl because she didn't respond to it as she was coming in. She needed a couple cocktails. So I did that one again. I followed that up with, once again, Everybody Backstreet Boys, which went over really well. I did Want to Be Spice Girls. That was fun. Pony Genuine. That was a request, and it went incredibly well. People really like to hear that throwback stuff. I Want It That Way, Backstreet Boys, was a request. I did Sexy Back, Justin Timberlake. The Grease Mega Mix, which I went ahead and just played. Like I said, I'd rather play Summer Nights and You're the One That I Want, but Sandy was there. She was ready to go again, so I'll just do Grease Mega Mix. And that went really well. Bounce, Calvin Harris. Shake It Off, Taylor Swift. Greedy, Tate McRae. That was a request. Another Tate McRae request was It's Okay, I'm Okay. And both of those songs, there were like 3 girls who loved them and danced to them. Everyone else was like, what's going on here? But that is what it is. And that's part of rotating the floor sometimes. Of course, we're getting late in the night. Did Bangarang Skrillex. And I went this. Somebody requested this. I'm like, screw it. You know what? Let's just do it. This has been such a great crowd. Celine Dion, It's All Coming Back to Me Now. There were a group of girls who were being very theatrical singing the song. Fine, do it. I was going to end there. And I'm like, you know what? I've got 2 minutes left, so I'm going to play a 2-minute long song. I get to pick it. Rich Girl, Hall & Oates. And everybody just went nuts. They thought it was great. I had a real fun crowd on Saturday. The people who came stayed. It was pretty personal. I mean, people knew my name, and I knew who they were. They knew they could come and talk to me. And it was just fun. It was just a fun thing. It wasn't like this big overwhelming thing for anybody. It was this cool, fun, intimate thing. Like I said, about 75 people, I think. Should have been double that, but hey, you know what? I'll take what I can get. But that's the list. And I don't think that any of you could probably take this list verbatim and do anything with it. But for what I was doing on Saturday, I think it worked pretty well. Some sets were mixed, some sets were not. But I think I played the right songs. And I tried to play the requests. And tried to cater to the audience who was there. And I rotated the hell out of the bar and they made money. So anyway, that's my video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you for tuning in and sticking around this long. We'll see you next time. Practice and enjoy.